Okay, this is Najee with Black Art in America. Today I'm here with Dr. Richard Long. Dr. Long, can you share with us some thoughts that you've got concerning the state of African American art and culture?
Well, one of the things I've been thinking about is how a number of important exhibitions have had inadequate publicity so that people who might be interested in them miss them. The first one that comes to my mind is an exhibit which was available this spring at the New Orleans Museum of Art. And this, of course, was the exhibit from the Amistad collection, the collection at the Amistad Gallery. Fortunately, a catalog was produced. The catalog is called Beyond the Blues, and it's reflections on the African American material in the fine arts collection of the Amistad Research Center in New Orleans. But at the New Orleans Museum of Art, it was a magnificent show with very important pieces of work by a range of artists. Perhaps the most striking thing is the fact that the Amistad Center contains the entire collection of Jacob Lawrence's Toussaint Louverture's series. And to have gone and to see that, and something that one rarely has an opportunity to see, was really quite remarkable. I think that some method has to be developed, or some procedures developed, which will bring an exhibition of that range of interest to the fairly large public, which would be interested in it. I mean, I think a lot of people, if they had advance notice of it, would have gone to New Orleans and seen this show. Another exhibition, which is actually still on, and which I saw a few weeks later in Los Angeles, is the exhibition devoted to John Scott. This is at the Los Angeles African American Museum in downtown Los Angeles in the Exposition Park. And fortunately, I went on the web and I was able, there's no catalog of this show, but when one checked on the website of the museum, one was led to a variety of material which had been put in for informational purposes. So that is very useful for the show. The John Scott, of course, is an artist who had a considerable New Orleans involvement since he spent all of his life there. But he definitely was an artist who had a wide range of abilities and so on, and it was very interesting that they were able to put this exhibit together in Los Angeles, drawing on the holdings of a small number of people in Los Angeles who had known him for a long period of time, so that over a period of 25 or 30 years they had acquired various kinds of pieces of his work, and in consequence the show is quite a remarkable show.
Dr. Long, if I could, can you give us a clear understanding of the importance when we have exhibitions that our institutions and perhaps even our galleries document and catalog the show?
Yes, I would think that obviously various kinds of funds are involved and so on, but there are at least ways in which one can record the material. Not every exhibition can produce a full-scale catalog. But fortunately, with the development of the websites and the development of various procedures, it's possible to put together, at least on the web, using the various devices such as Word and so on, some record of the show that would be extremely valuable for permanently. That is, it would definitely be there forever. Yes, now another source of information which goes back now over 30 years ago is the International Review of African American Art, now published at Hampton University Museum. That particular publication, of course, was founded by Samela Lewis, and the original title was the Black Arts Quarterly. They of course have, I think, covered beginning at the very beginning, were perhaps the only thing covering African American art. And up until now, they have continued to do that very well. And I am particularly interested in the fact that after 25 years, they produced a number called 25 years. And that gives us, it says 25 who made a difference. They look at 25 different people without, I have to make the reservation that I'm one of the people listed. But they list 25 people who have been active in various aspects of bringing information about African American art to a large public. And so I think that the value of getting to the International Review, here again, one can go on the web and find a listing of their materials under the Hampton University Museum setting. They have listed most of those copies which are still available. And I think that, again, is a source of information which many people who are interested in the subject have not actually become aware of. And it is perhaps, overdue that it come into the degree of publicity that it should come into.
Okay.
Well, then the next thing that I did want to mention is the fact that certain collections, I think, have been underexposed. And one of those would be the collection, originally the Atlanta University collection of African American art, now the Clark Atlanta University collection. This collection goes back to the early 40s. It was founded as a result of a annual exhibition that Hale Woodruff was able to organize while he was still at Atlanta University. The annual exhibition continued for 30 years or so, and each year a number of the pieces which were in the exhibit won prizes and remained at the university. So an interesting collection was built up, and indeed it probably is the fullest collection of African American art available. And there again, much more emphasis needs to be focused on that kind of collection and what is involved. Currently the director of it is the curator and also an artist, Tina Dunkley, and she's been quite assiduous in making people aware of it, but with the limited funds and limited staff that is available for it, she has not quite had the outreach that would be desirable.
Okay. Well, thank you for that bit of information. One of the things that I would like to say, me being Najee with Black Art in America, is I think it's extremely important for people to really consider utilizing our publication for dispersing the information out to a broader audience. Given the reach that we've been able to have in such a short time, the four corners of the states and even some exposure internationally, well, we look forward to partnering with organizations like Clark Atlanta University and perhaps the International Review of African American Art to let the general public know what events that they have coming up. And Dr. Long, I thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.